We all know that Stephen Covey wrote The Seven Habits of Highly Successful People. And the second one of those habits is begin with the end in mind. And that has become, common use in lots of places, business circles and personal development circles and leadership circles. Begin with the end in mind. And when we take that concept and we apply that to a metaphysical practice, we start to recognize that, oh, that habit of highly successful people is also a really good habit in metaphysics. When we know who we are, when we know we're made in the image and likeness of God, and that is the reality, it's the Alpha and Omega, it's the beginning and the ending, right? We can start with that. If we're struggling with a problem and we start with the fact of our being, the truth of our being, then we're going to realize the end of healing much sooner. If we're buying into the lie, we're buying into the problem, and we've sort of been duped by the enemy and bought into the suggestion of the mortal sense of things, which says problem. If we buy into that, we're not beginning with the end in mind. A lot of times we take on the problem as part of our identity, right? And then we get into a battle with the problem. And the world would tell us the way to deal with the problem is through the material senses. Well, if we begin with the end in mind, we know that I am made in the image and likeness of God. I am a spiritual idea, pure, perfect, and eternal. I am the very manifestation of God. God expressed looks like man, that looks like us as children of God, walking around on the planet, ideas of God. If I'm beginning with that as the end, then I know my healing has already taken place. I've already been released from the false belief that my identity is something else. So I got to begin with that. So I like to play a little trick with myself. If I'm dealing with like a suggestion has come up and I wasn't paying attention, I bought into it, I'm starting to identify with the problem. Then I go, wait a second, Lisa, do you think you're going to be healed at some point? Do you think, you know, a few weeks from now, a month from now, what do you think at some point you're going to have your healing? And I go, yeah, I'm very confident about it. Like, right, yes, I know that God is good. I know that God is all. I know God created everything, and behold, it was very good. That's the reality. So I know that this illusion of the senses that's telling me there's a problem is the lie, and the material senses always die, right? So I know this problem has to die at some point. The belief of this problem must die because the mortal sense always dies. That's part of the mortal sense. So, okay, so I am made in I know the healing will happen at some point. So why am I waiting? What is the point of waiting for that to happen after a certain period of time? And we know time is not an element in healing. Time is not a factor in healing. So I don't need to wait to claim the healing. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It's like, do I have the faith that the Christ is present, that the Christ is going to shift my thinking about myself to see the reality of who I am at some point? Well, the Christ is here and now. Mrs. Eddy gives us that wonderful definition of the Christ where she says it's the divine manifestation of God, which comes to the flesh to destroy incarnate error. Notice that the Christ is doing the destroying of the incarnate error. We're not doing that personally. It's not up to us. It's up to us yielding to the Christ. That's what we're doing. We're yielding to the Christ. We're yielding to the power of God. We're yielding to the divine power that is. We are not wielding something ourselves. We get to be the expression. Jesus said, I and my Father are one. I can of mine own self do nothing. So if little I creeping in, trying to be all that and be the power, it's like, no, that's not going to get us anywhere. As soon as we yield, as soon as we are humble enough to say, not my will, but thine be done, God, you are the power, you are the strength, you are the all that is. I am the reflection of that. By definition, I am the reflection of that. But that's because of who God is, not because of who little I, false ego is. So begin with the end in mind. Begin with the healing being present here and now. Bring that thought that I'll be healed at some point, bring that into the now. Great, I'm healed now. And I can be grateful for that healing now. So it is the faith the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It is the gratitude for the reality that God is the only power and the only presence, and that I am the reflection of that. So there's no room in that for a problem. And as Mrs. Eddy says, the truth, as she says, removes properly whatever is offensive. Does that mean we're removing it? No, she says the truth removes properly whatever is offensive. Okay. Lots of love. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because we're here almost every day putting these little spiritual ideas out there. And you'll see little clips from Morning Metaphys, which is the half hour I do every day, every weekday, with those who sort of sign up and are part of that. And you can try it for free for a whole week if you want. You can go to getfreesupport.com and sign up for a week, see if it aligns with you. And, I'm a huge fan of a daily practice. So sign up, see if it aligns with your daily spiritual practice. See if it gives you inspiration and puts you on that path of spiritual healing and spiritual awareness and metaphysical support and all the things, all the things. So much love, lots of love. I will see you next time. Be well, be the expression of God that you truly are right here, right